Hey guys, finished another OG neck knife, once again called the OG knife due to the curvature of the handle, which resembles an OG curve that's commonly found in furniture and architecture. Very attractive curve, yet very functional for a knife design as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and give the specs for this knife, as I am going to be putting up for sale, but I do want to give my YouTube subs and viewers the first crack at it. So if anybody wants this knife, go ahead and send me a message, and I will give you the pricing and other pertinent details on this knife. But to go over to the specs real quickly, we have an overall length, including the sheath, of about 6 1/4. The widest point of the sheath being about 2 1/4. And then the overall length of the sheath itself being 4 1/8. Now this is a single piece fold over black Kydex sheath with 4 3/16 diameter eyelets, which are perfect for paracord. And as you can see, we have an olive drab 550 paracord neck lanyard with dual sliding knots for length adjustment. And what I like to do when I make these neck lanyards is go ahead and make them a little bit long so that even when they're cinched up all the way, they'll slip over your head. And what that does, it gives the end user the opportunity, should they desire it, to open one or both of these knots, take a few inches off, and kind of customize the length as needed. And then you simply need to tie the knots back, burn the ends to keep them from unraveling, and you're good to go. Now there is a little bit of controversy going about the 550 paracord neck lanyards on a neck knife. A lot of guys don't like them because of how hard paracord is to break, and I guess the fear is that you may inadvertently hang yourself if you were to get hung up in something, or if you were to maybe get into a fight, your adversary could maybe pull on this and strangle you with it. My perspective on that is kind of twofold. One, you have a knife right there to cut it should you need to, and secondly, with this dual sliding knot design, you can very easily slide one or both knots up, lengthening the loop, and hopefully that'll be enough to get out of it. But another option, you can go ahead and just get a ball chain for it. It'll work just as well. Personally, I prefer the 550 paracord, not only because I think it's comfortable, functional, but it also gives you a length of paracord should you need some. Now the retention on the Kydex, very nice. Got a little bit of play in there, but that's kind of how it's designed. Definitely not going to be falling out at all, but pops out readily when you need it. Now as for the knife specs, we have a 6-inch overall knife from butt to tip. The blade itself is 2 3/4 inches long from tip to handle. The handle then is 3 1/4 inches in length. The widest point is 1.5 inches, as I used 1.5 inch stock for this. And the cutting length, as far as the edge, is right about 2 1/4. So not too big, but definitely not too small. More than adequate for your average everyday chores, and then some. Now I do have jimping on the back for the thumb, so it gets a very comfortable normal grip. Get a lot of leverage with this knife, and also the blade's canted forward just a little bit, which also gives you some additional leverage and advantage there as well. Another thing I like about this knife and the design, it is very comfortable in a variety of grips, even the reverse chest grip for you bushcrafters. Ice pick in either direction. And one of my favorite grips, you can go ahead and choke up on the tip for detail work such as skinning, fine chopping, slicing, or what have you. Now this is 1095 high carbon steel, which has been heat treated by myself, double tempered at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's kind of a good mix between hard and soft. Sharpens quite easily, and cuts very well with that full flat grind. The handle is 2 tones of micarta. We have a black linen micarta bolster, and then the black, or the green canvas micarta for the main handle. And very happy with how this came out. Very ergonomic, rounded out very nicely, so it's extremely comfortable in the hand. Fills the hand pretty nice as well. As for the handle hardware, this is all stainless. We have a 1/4 inch outer diameter lanyard tube with a 3/16 inner diameter, same as the neck sheath eyelets, so it will accommodate paracord as well should you want a wrist lanyard or key fob. And then we have a 5/16 outer diameter Corby bolt or a Corby rivet, along with some epoxy to hold the handles in place. So these are definitely not going anywhere. And I think that's pretty much all the specs. If I left anything out, go ahead and send me a comment or a message, and I'll be sure to annotate accordingly. As you can see, it goes back into the sheath very readily and easily, and definitely got a nice little package here. Not too heavy, I'm not sure of the exact weight, but definitely more than appropriate for neck carry. So that's the OG neck knife, currently for sale. If anybody wants it, go ahead and send me a message, let me know, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys.